the suckers. I'm listening to Rainier Avenue Radio .world.
If you or a family member are 55 or over and need nursing home level care, but want to keep living where you are, check out Providence Elder Place PACE. This program offers healthcare, housing, transportation, and recreational activities. There are no co-pays or deductibles, and it's covered through Medicare and Medicaid. Providence Elder Place PACE works to keep you healthy and in your home. Call 206-320-5325 or visit providence.org Elder Place. Providence.org Elder Place.
Kind of nonsense conversation we're having here.
The Neon Ghost Show. The Neon Ghost Show. Right here on Rainier. What's it? Rainier Avenue Radio.world.
Right about now.
Rainier Avenue Radio.world. I'm so tired. I have to pee.
This is your Rainier Avenue Radio.world community update on the new City of Seattle Community Resource Hub, a one-stop online shop for city resources and information. Supported by the Seattle Department of Neighborhoods, the Community Resource Hub can be found at seattle.gov/resource hub. It's an online portal of city resources, information, and tools to help community members connect and engage with city government and with each other. That is seattle.gov/resource hub.
This is Mondo Bancaro from Mondo's World. We will be discussing some interesting subjects. Sometimes I might even have some guests. So please listen to my show on Rainier Avenue Radio.
When feeling stressed, overwhelmed, or frustrated, what does self-care look like? It looks like doing something to clear your mind, such as meditating, painting, making a playlist, going outside. You can also stay connected with friends and loved ones. If you feel alone, look for an online community with shared interests or volunteer to help people in need. And use virtual sessions to talk with a mental health professional. They're here to help. If you need support, call the Lifeline at 1-800-273-TALK. Brought to you by the state of Washington.
This is Rainier Avenue Radio .world.
Hey! Welcome. This is Brenda Charles-Edwards. Hey! We're live every Friday at 2:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Rainier Avenue Radio.world, your community radio station. You can also listen to us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch TV, and the Rainier Radio app. Seniors Matters invites a variety of guests to discuss issues and activities that may impact the lives of older adults, their families, and the community. If you're interested in knowing more about what's the best gift you can give yourself and your loved ones, join me on Zoom for a group or individual session on end-of-life planning. You can reach me at 206-683-2636. Today, my guest is Robby Stern. He serves on the executive board of Puget Sound Advocates for Retirement Action, and he's also the president of the PSARA Education Fund, a 501c3 sister of PSARA. I'm going to have him pronounce it for me. That produces a monthly 12-page newsletter on issues of importance to seniors and future seniors. Welcome to the show, Robby. It's good to see you.
Thank you for having me, Brenda.
And so how do I pronounce that acronym?
PSARA.
PSARA. Okay, sounds good. So now that I have that, which you'll probably have to remind me again, let's talk a little bit more about what PSARA does.
Sure. So PSARA is an organization of more than 1,300 members, predominantly in King County, but we have members all over, including all up and down Western Washington, and then some in Central and Eastern Washington as well. And we are an advocacy organization. That's the C4. We're an advocacy and education organization. We are a very unique role that we play is that we are very much involved in advocating for the preservation and expansion of Social Security and Medicare at the federal level. And we work with our congressional delegation. We're very excited about the fact that we just recently played an important role in the firing of the Trump-appointed head of Social Security Administration, the commissioner who needed to go. And we are also very excited that they're now talking about major expansion of Medicare in this upcoming bill that's going to be put through the reconciliation process. And we're meeting with our congressional delegation on that. But we also play a very important advocacy role at the state and local level. At the state level, we were very much involved in the Long-Term Care Trust Act that created the ability of people to actually put money away to deal with long-term care when those needs come up. But we also have our own lobbyists in the legislature and work on a variety of issues that are important not just to seniors, but we're also advocate for future seniors as well. We're a senior voice for future seniors. And we're a multiracial, multi-generational organization. Our executive board is composed of about 31 members, and it's multiracial, multi-generational. And we do a lot of educational work as well. We do education about the need to expand Social Security and Medicare, but we've also, most recently, we're going to be doing some educational work on the emergence and the growing strength of the white nationalist, anti-democratic far right, and what people can do to deal with that. We have members in Clallam County and Island County where those groups are extremely active, and we're giving support to them and doing education with people who understand it at the national level. So we're active on a variety of issues, including in the city of Seattle and work we've done in the city of Seattle on policy.
Boy, you just said a mouthful, Robby. But I'm excited to hear about the Social Security because I recently had read that they're trying to make some changes and increase it. And I can't remember how long ago it was there was a major increase. Do you by any chance know?
Well, you know, there was obviously Medicare was created in the mid 60s, and that included the creation of SSI as well. And those were very important additions. And then, of course, there's supposed to be a cost of living every year. But in terms of what we're talking about, a lot of people don't know this because we never get there. But there is a cap on what people pay. If you earn up to, I think it's $141,000, you end up paying 6.2% and your employer pays 6.2%. And if you're self-employed, then you pay the 12.4%. But everything that's earned over $141,000, there is nothing paid on that. So while those of us who worked before we retired were paying 6.2%, someone like Howard Schultz was paying like 0.6%, right? So what we're talking about doing is we're talking about getting rid of the cap, scrapping the cap. And we even have a rap video about it called Just Scrap the Cap.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a great video. You'd like it. And
it's too bad we don't have it for today.
But at any rate, so we're working on, and now we have our entire Democratic delegation supporting either eliminating or raising the cap. And we now have a vast majority of the Democratic caucus in the House supporting either raising or getting rid of the cap. And there's legislation called the Social Security 2100 Act that had somewhere close to 180 or 190 co-sponsors on it. So we've really been making progress on that. Oh, there it is.
There's the rap video. I love it. Go, Daniel. Where's the volume? I love
Well,
it. I'd love to hear what they're saying, but this is cool.
Check we earn.
Oh, here we go.
Correct. We the ones getting burned.
There's nothing we can do if we can't get paid except eat cat food and drink Haterade.
Listen up, cuz while we drop some knowledge, we raise a little boy, put him through college.
Only safety net is our next of kin. Look out, son, cause we're moving in.
We're moving in.
We're moving in.
Pull out the couch cause we're moving in. No arguing.
No arguing.
Pull out the couch cause we're moving in. Name final twist, check my orthopedic kicks, cause I stoop farther south than the St. Lunatics. I'm still getting play, and it's all thanks to Pfizer, keeping me stiffer than a Yankees cap visor.
My station wagon windows are dark with tint. I subscribe to Vibe and I get the large print. They call me Martini, got substance abuse, cause I'm always playing gin and sipping on juice.
Our son wants to know if we can pay the rent, but without benefits, we ain't got 50 cents.
We don't pack a 9 with the strap for funds, but we're still game killers for our bachelor son.
You're out of towns.
Greenwood Senior Center. Oh, I love it.
Social Security payments are far from erratic. It's broken, failing. Don't believe that static.
This crisis is a fiction. There would be no debate if we all pitched in at the same tax rate.
There's a cap on how much millionaires pay, even though we all work like every single day.
These are the facts, but they're proven thin. So pull out the couch, cause we're moving in.
We're moving in.
We're moving in.
Pull out the couch, cause we're moving in. No arguing.
No arguing.
Pull out the couch, cause we're moving in. All right now, young'uns, you're our last resort, but sooner or later we'll be needing support.
If you don't want roommates, just learn this rap. It's only one line. Shout, scrap the cap. Scrap the cap. Scrap the cap.
Throw your hands up, just scrap the cap. Scrap the cap. Scrap the cap. Throw your hands up, just scrap the cap.
I love it. That is
so
great.
So anyway, so we're working on that expansion of Medicare, but we also have a lot of issues that we're concerned about that have to do with the city of Seattle. So the organization has been around, Brenda, for over 35 years. And I became active in it in 2007 and actually retired from my job with the State Labor Council in 2008 and became the president in 2009 for PSARA. And now I retired from being president after 9 years, and now I'm the president of the C3. The C3, PSARA Education Fund, produces a really outstanding newsletter. I like to say it's the best non-award-winning newsletter in the country. And so we do it monthly, which is a big task, and it addresses all the issues that are important to people and important to seniors.
Robby, I'm still caught up in this rap thing, but so I'd read that the newsletter is 12 pages long.
That's right.
How often does it come out, and is it 12 pages every time? And how can I get a copy?
Every time, once a month.
Okay.
Every time, once a month.
And how does one get a copy of it?
Well, one becomes a member.
Ah.
One becomes a member and gets a copy of it. It's $20 a year.
Oh, that's all?
Yeah, $20 a year.
Oh, okay. I guess I could do that.
Yeah, no, it's a great newsletter. You would definitely enjoy it. It really addresses a lot of the issues that are important. So, yeah, it's called the Retiree Advocate, and we're an activist organization. We're not your mama's AARP. We're an activist organization. We go out and we participate. There's going to be a Medicare for All March next Saturday. We'll be participating in that. We've been out on a bunch of the racial justice. We held our own Black Lives Matter demonstration out on Green Lake with about 100 people out there on the road waving signs. So we're an activist group.
That's fantastic. So now I know there's a project that's coming up, and I want to know, why did you decide to co-sponsor this forum with the Mayor's Council and African American Elders, this is about the mayoral race. I can never get that straight, but you know what I'm talking about.
I knew what you were talking about. Yeah, well, number one, we were very honored to be asked to be a co-sponsor of it with the Mayor's Commission on African American Elders. So that was the first thing. It's
Mayor's Council on African American Elders.
Okay, the Mayor's Council. We were honored to be asked.
I used to be a member.
Oh, is that right?
I used to be the president.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
Yes.
Are you still on it?
No, I'm not.
Okay. Well, we were honored to.
I'm there with them in spirit.
Gotcha. Well, we were honored to be asked. And so that was the first thing, was when we were called and said, do you want to do this? The answer was, of course. But the other reason why is because the city mayoral race is going to be very important on issues that are really important to seniors who live in the Seattle area. I'll just give you a few. I'll give you more than a few examples. Housing. I mean, we've had members who literally, and you know about this, have had to leave Seattle because they could not afford to live here. Right. It is more and more difficult for seniors to be able to afford. Lots of people are having a hard time, but seniors, particularly people on fixed incomes, are having a heck of a time. And so it's really going to be important to us where the different mayoral candidates stand on the building and the creation of low income and affordable housing. And how they want to do it. I mean, in a lot of ways, we would prefer to see it be public rather than private, so that it is subject to the political process. But we need to build a lot of housing so that people can stay in Seattle. So that's one issue. And I think that who wins this race will have a lot to do with how that issue is going to be dealt with.
So, Robby, what is the definition of low income, affordable housing? I mean, where do the seniors fit in with this?
Oh, okay, I'm actually talking about two kind of housing: low income housing and affordable housing, right? So low income housing are people that are either at or below the poverty level, that need a place to live, who may not have homes now or have homes. We've had people who were renting and could not afford it anymore and had to move out. So the low income, would be people who are maybe $25,000 a year, or less, or maybe 30. I don't have a number in mind. Okay. Affordable housing is housing for people that are, say, making $30,000 to $60,000. And we need both kinds of housing. And so I'm not saying low income affordable. I'm saying low income and affordable housing. Gotcha. We need them both. Right. And we need to have that as a high priority for whoever the next mayor is going to be. And to be honest with you, I've made an endorsement already, but I'm not going to tell you who it is, because I know. Well, I will tell you if you want to know.
Sure, I want to know.
I endorse Lorena Gonzalez.
Really?
Yes, I did.
And why?
Well, because I think she.
If you want to say.
No, I don't mind saying it all. For example, this new initiative that's going to be on the ballot, I forget what the name of it is. It's one that's really being heavily promoted by developers, and supposedly it's going to deal with the homelessness problem. But you look at who is saying, wait, this is not the way to go.
No. There you go.
It's folks from Real Change. It's people from the homeless community. And they're saying, hey, you want to look at how to solve this? Confer with us. Let us help you figure this out. We're human beings. We have things to say. Lorena is one of the few people who are running for mayor who said, I will not vote for this. I think there has to be a different process in how we move forward with this. I'm convinced. I mean, she comes from such modest to poor background. I mean, her family were farm workers. You know, they lived under circumstances of extreme poverty, and she has understood that. And I believe that she understands that her priority is making communities places where people can live, all people can live. And so that's why I'm supporting her at this point,
Okay.
why I endorsed her.
All
Okay.
right.
So that being said, that's not the organization.
Yeah.
PSARA does not endorse
Okay.
candidates. That's a personal endorsement.
All right. I'm glad you made that clear to our
Yeah,
audience.
I realized as soon as I said it, I better make that clear. That was personal and not the organization.
Okay.
Another issue that the city will be dealing with is transit. And seniors really rely on transit.
Yes.
Probably, you know, I mean, there are a lot of people that do, but seniors in particular rely on transit. We need a robust public transit system that is not too expensive. Now, right now we have the senior Orca card, which is great, you know, and that's a wonderful, wonderful thing for seniors. But we need to make sure that we have enough buses, like here in the Rainier corridor, that number 7 bus.
Yes.
You know, they were talking about, you know, cutting back the service on the number 7. And
You're
you look
kidding.
at the number 7, it is so important for this area.
Right.
So we need to have someone in the mayoral race who understands and will advocate for sufficient public transit. That's another thing.
So wait, Robbie, before you go on, I have
Yes, ma'am.
Having more transit, does that mean that parking should be eliminated in downtown Seattle, or the rates raised to like $12 an hour? Because some people have to have a car to work. I
Right.
personally am a mobile person. I am a
Right.
mobile notary signing agent. I do site inspections. I have to have a car. I cannot get on a bus to do my job. But why should I be penalized of $12 an hour or not having parking downtown just to have more buses?
Okay, but I didn't say that, did I?
No, you didn't, but I'm asking that question.
Okay. No, I honestly, Brenda, I haven't given much thought to the parking issue. I would, you know, I can come up with something here off the top of my head, but it doesn't seem like that's a very good idea. So,
well,
you
more
know,
importantly, will the future mayor have those thoughts?
Right. And I don't know the answer to that. I have not raised that issue. I mean, there are only a couple of 3 of them that I would have considered for a personal endorsement. And I just haven't raised that issue. So I don't know. Is there one that you feel is better on that issue than others?
Yes, but I'm not at liberty to speak on it.
Okay, fair enough. So what I would say is that for the folks that I'm advocating for, that issue of having a robust public transit system. Now, my memory is it's been a while since I've been on public transit because of the COVID, but you know, is that 3rd Avenue was devoted to transit, but that I think what you're speaking to is the expense of having to park downtown, and it is expensive.
It's very expensive.
Yeah, I know.
And we're just coming out of a pandemic, and we're still really in it. But now that the city has opened up more, they're talking about raising the parking rate. And I'm thinking a lot of people lost jobs, seniors and otherwise, and now they have to go downtown, and you're talking about raising the rent. I mean, I realize the city lost money. Don't get me wrong. I understand that.
Right.
But I also understand that we, the little people, have to live too. And, you know, that's crazy. But that's my personal opinion.
Right. Well, The only thing, actually, the parking meters have gotten a little more expensive all over the city, actually.
Yes.
I understand that there are people that don't have a choice and they have to drive. And we should take that into account in terms of our planning around transportation. But I do know that we really need to have a robust transit system. Yeah.
I totally agree with you.
Progressive revenue. The city's got to raise revenue, but I want a candidate who's going to speak to how they're going to do it in a way where they're going to actually get the revenue from those who can most afford to pay it.
Yes.
And that's again a big issue for many seniors who are living on the edge. There are a lot of seniors who their sole source of income is Social Security, and there's even much larger number for whom Social Security is at least 50% of their income. So to have taxes that take money away, it does, city taxes doesn't make sense. So I was supportive of the tax on high income earners, on the companies that have high income earners downtown. I thought that was a progressive approach. I'm glad that it's been implemented. And as we look at new revenue, we need to think in terms of, we have some very, very well-off people in Seattle, and they're not paying their fair share at this point, given their ability to pay. So
Right.
I want to, now, obviously, access to services is going to be really important. The senior centers need to be supported. The other services that seniors need just to be able to live their lives with dignity and respect need to be supported. And I'm going to look at those candidates who are actually speaking to how they're going to support those senior centers. We have a lot of members who go to senior centers to eat or for activity, to get out of isolation. We need to know that there's going to be good support for those services.
Most definitely.
Police reform is an issue that's important to our organization. We believe that much more money needs to go into the front end so that people don't have the encounters with the police. It needs to go into the social workers. It needs to go into the creation of jobs. It needs to go into those areas where people are going to get the services they need so they don't have those encounters with the police. And we need to hold the police accountable. And that's a position that our organization has taken. Now, some may not view that as a senior issue, but for us, social justice is a senior issue.
Yes, it is.
And so we feel very strongly about that. We need to lower the need for police. And to do that, we need to put money where it's going to make it possible for people to have lives and not feel like they got to live outside the law. And so that's something that the city cannot do all by itself. And we recognize that, but the city can help and needs to help. Also, we're very concerned about the militarization of the police, that all this old armed forces stuff is now sitting with the police department. Many of us go out on rallies and demonstrations, and the level of militarization of the police is of great concern. So we're interested in a mayoral candidate who recognizes that and will appoint a chief of police who sees their job as to have a lot more decent interaction with the public and not somehow be out there as an intimidating force.
Before you go on, Robby, I just want to let you know we have about 2 minutes left.
All right.
We have 1 minute left. So I want to get the date on when the forum is going to be and how our audience can attend it if they're interested.
Oh my goodness. You're asking me something. It is, I believe it's on the 27th.
Yes.
But I don't know how. I don't have that information in front of me.
Okay. So how about telling folks how to reach PSARA?
To reach PSARA, you can go to www.psara.org. and you can reach, that's our website. And you can also, we have, let me see if I have here something that has our phone number, but we have an office and a phone number. I just don't have it. Wait, hold on a second. I might have it real close by.
Where's your business card?
That's what I'm looking for. That's exactly what I'm looking for.
All right, I am.
I know you gotta go. Okay, here is a phone number.
Okay, go ahead.
No, that's my personal phone number. I'm not going to give you that.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you
right.
what. I'll have you back on the show if that's all right with you. Because
of course it is.
Okay.
I would welcome that.
All right, because we still have much more to talk about. But I just want to say this has been a wonderful experience having you on as a guest. And I also want to tell my audience, thank you for listening. Thank you, Robby. We are going to have you back on. He is he's the president of the executive board of PSARA and the newsletter and the Education Fund. But be safe, live your life like it's golden. And the coronavirus special edition is next. Have a happy Friday, everyone. Talk to you later, Robby.
Thank you, Brenda. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Here with the Rainier